Good people, what's going on? This is T. Haynes with Enter the Dome podcast, episode number 4. We're talking about God's Son versus Life is Good, coming from the amazing career of Nasir Jones. Depending on who you ask, outside of Illmatic, you'll probably get a different answer with other favorite albums in his discography because it's so vast, so long and deep, a lot of peaks and valleys, highs and lows, what have you. But I was talking about Life is Good recently on Twitter. And of course, I hold it in high esteem. Same as I hold God's Son. But someone posed to me, God's Son was better. I said, well, maybe it could be some nostalgia. It could be because of the battle with Jay-Z was coming to a close with God's Son for the most part. So, it could be some of that history factor with it because nothing amazing was going on during the time Nas dropped Life is Good as far as his music life. Of course, personal life, something different because he was going through a divorce or had just gone through a divorce with Khalees. But of course, the sensationalism of battle rap and Jay-Z versus Nas kind of put God's Son in a high esteem in regard to that. So look, let's talk about 2002. God's Son is released. It comes after his so-called comeback album Stillmatic in 2001, the big battle as I just mentioned with Jay-Z. Some people think that this is right after the album that saved Nas, and I always said that was nonsense to me because again, after Illmatic, it was written. After it was written, you had I Am that leaked on Napster. Nas is the first major MC to really have a project leak like that. So you didn't get the I Am Nostradamus double CD. That would have been absolutely amazing when you look at the songs that was left off and end up put on the lost tapes. You add those to the best songs on I Am, and Nas never fell off. Now, Nostradamus was rushed. It sound like still had some good Nas songs on it if you go back and listen to it. But okay, fine. If you want to say Nostradamus was a point where Nas's career is over with, I don't know how your career is over when you just dropped Illmatic. It was written in I Am, but okay, fine. We'll run with that narrative. Stillmatic saved Nas, then okay, whatever. Now, God's Son comes after Ether, after Stillmatic, after the Stillmatic freestyle, after the Paid in Full freestyle. It's a full-fledged war with Jay-Z. Jay-Z has come back again on several tracks, dissing Nas as well. You know what I'm saying? But then Nas decides to release the God's Son album. You know what I'm saying? And, having Made You Look as a single is, a hardcore video. Yeah, Fat Joe and everyone in the video. Then, of course, you had some album tracks that we'll talk about as well. Now, with Life is Good, you have that coming after Distant Relatives, you know what I'm saying, with Damian Marley, which is an amazing album that Nas doesn't really get credit for. And I do kind of consider it more of a Damian Marley album because Damian Marley was absolutely fabulous on that album. But Nas did represent, you know what I'm saying? So then Life is Good is coming after some personal issues. And man, did he put something special together. But now, one thing I like to do is let's go track for track. But what we want to do is also add in the bonus tracks as well. Because I feel like, look, bonus tracks are album tracks to me. I don't care. Both of them came, in the deluxe versions. That's part of the album. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. Now, we'll start with the first 14 tracks, which is the original 14 tracks for both albums. And then we'll add in the bonus tracks and see how they match up with each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's kind of do it that way. But, the first track, the intro to God's Son, you have Get Down. And, man, the beat changed like twice on there. Man, Nas really got off on Get Down. And so we're going to put that against No Introduction on Life is Good. Now, I would give that song to Get Down. I think Nas was a little more vicious on that track. The beat banged a little bit harder. Even though I do like the intro to Life is Good, I have to give that track to Get Down. God's Son has round 1. Round 2, you have The Cross, produced by Eminem, versus Locomotive. Needless to say, Locomotive actually sounded like a 90s joint. He even said at the end of the song, this for my trapped in the 90s niggas. You know what I'm saying? So Locomotive with Lost Professor talking throughout the song. I mean, a hard boom bap joint for you boom bap kids that I like to joke with all the time on Twitter. I'm really just messing around with you guys. But Locomotive is just a superior song. It doesn't really go too much more than the cross is good, the lyrics is good. Eminem production a little bland to me on the cross. I actually like Ninth Wonder version of the cross on his God's Stepson. You can go check that out. So I think Ninth's beat was better than Eminem's. Eminem did a decent job on it. The lyrics carried the song, the vibe of the song with Nas focus coming out to Get Down. You could tell he was about to be on one on Godson. So at the end of the day, it was a dope song, but Locomotive is just a better song. So round two will go to Life is Good. Round three, Major Look, probably a top 5, 6 Nas song, street banger. You can play it in the club, you can play it on the radio, you can play it in the corner. I mean, that was very much so an amazing way to introduce Godson to the world after coming off Five Mics with Stillmatic. You know what I'm saying? That against a Queen story. Look, Queen story is very dope because especially if you're a New York person, you probably can it resonates with you a lot more with him naming a lot of people, in the Queen's history, streets and in hip hop. So Nas did a beautiful job of really painting some pictures for East Coast and New York and for Queens specifically in that song. But obviously, Made You Look bangs. It's one of Nas' biggest bangers. If Nas did a verses, that's gonna be one of the songs that get him around. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna definitely give him around here for round number 3. That's gonna go to Godson. Oh man, round number 4. Godson, Last Real Nigga Alive versus Accident Murderer with Rick Ross. As much as I like Accident Murderer and the lyrics to the song, the beat was dope to me. I thought it fit the album pretty dope. I mean, let's keep it real. Last Real Nigga Alive gave you the story of East Coast New York, in the 90s. I mean, he talking about Wu Tang. He talking about Bad Boy. He talking about everything, man. He just giving you his career leading up to what happened with him and Jay-Z. He talked about how Jay-Z was, how Biggie admired Jay-Z. He talked about he actually, tried to son Jay-Z and give him a little bit of props at the same time. But he also said Jigga started to flow like us and hit what ain't no nigga. You know what I'm saying? So he also showed that I'm still a father of a PCO style. Of course, Jay-Z, style still comes to me from, not just Nas and Biggie or nothing like that. Jazzo and Kane and Kaz and all of those older guys definitely influenced him. You know what I'm saying? And Coogee Rap. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? Last Real Nigga Alive just gave you that. Our Scarface Jay was Manolo. It hurt me when I had to kill him and his whole squad for Dolo. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's gonna be Accident Murderer. So yeah, man, we at round 4 now. Look, it's looking bleak for Life is Good, right? Well, sometimes you like Zab Judah, what Floyd Mayweather said about Zab Judah after they fought, front runner. You know what I'm saying? Right now, Godson is front running Life is Good. But let's keep it going. Oh man, at number 5, round 5 is Zone Out with the Bravehearts. Man, it's kind of like I don't, you're trying to be loyal to your brother, to your homies, but Zone Out is just not a good song, man. It reminds you of the first version of Stillmatic with Braveheart Party on there, and everybody like, really? Nah, it's like you, man, take that shit off the album, man. You know what I'm saying? So round 5, Zone Out against Daughters. Daughters is just something special in hip hop because I'm sure any MC or any man in general, who has a daughter feel the way Nas felt on that song, man. Dope message, dope beat. No need to even go any further with that. Daughter's gonna win round 5, man. Round 6, Hey Nas versus Reach Out. I don't really love either one of these songs, but Hey Nas, when you go back and listen to it now, it's kind of cheesy a little bit. I mean, it's kind of got a feel good kind of little vibe to it, but somewhat cheesy. Reach Out, that same sample has been heard 1,000 times. You can go listen to it. I'm not going to tell you where it's from and all that. Just go listen to Reach Out again. You've heard that sample about 6 times probably in the history of hip hop. Well, it felt like 6 times, might have been 2 or 3. But it's a better song. Reach Out is a better song than Hey Nas, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So round 6 is going to go to Life is Good. Round 7, I Can. Man, it's a big single, big message, dope video. Something for the kids, of course, but it worked without being too preachy, without it being corny. You know what I'm saying? So I Can versus World is an Addiction. Now, Words are an Addiction with Anthony Hamilton. If you do put some a beat behind it, then I don't know. This might have been a closer round because the lyrics to the song, it's got some power and energy in the song, but it just doesn't have a beat to it. I just don't understand. I mean, I know certain people thrive on that style of production. I don't love it, like I've said on Twitter before, and it just didn't work for this song. It could have been an amazing song, man. So I Can is just gonna edge this one out, man. Godson takes round 7, round 8. Book of Rhymes, produced by the Alchemist. Probably one of the most creative rap songs I've ever heard. You know what I'm saying? Nas is known for that. You think about Nas' career, he's known to have very, very creative songs. You know that a lot of MCs don't have. You know what I mean? He'll push the level. He'll do something that a lot of people probably wouldn't think to do. And most of the time it worked out. And it worked out for Nas. I mean, Nas is the same person who did a song about Project Roach on Untitled, or a song about fried chicken with Busta Rhymes on Untitled. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't do stuff like that. The Fetus joint, even though Organized Confusion had a Vitro, he had Fetus. So people don't do what Nas do, man. So the Book of Rhymes, man, is just, I mean, it's basically him finding the old Book of Rhymes and talking about it. I'm not saying that has never been done in hip hop, but I'm saying for big artists, I don't recall anyone doing that. So it's Book of Rhymes versus Some on Smash. I don't like Some on Smash. I don't like Nas and Swizz Beats together. You know what I'm saying? And some people might like this song, man. I think Some on Smash is probably the worst song on Life is Good. You know what I'm saying? So obviously that round will go to God's Son. So where are we? Number 9. This is the tight one. Thug's Mansion versus You Wouldn't Understand. Look, I like Thug's Mansion. You got the Tupac thing with it and all that stuff like that. In theory, I get it, but You Wouldn't Understand. It's a better record. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a better record. The beat is better. The vibe is doper. It's just a better song. You know what I'm saying? Go back and listen to both of them and let me know what you think, because I don't even think it's that close. You know what I'm saying? That's just me, though. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it is what it is. Where are we now? Mastermind. Mastermind, round number 10 versus Back When. Now, this is a good one. I like Mastermind. Mastermind was a dope song, man. It kind of had it was kind of epic, man. You know what I'm saying? It kind of had where Nas was kind of feeling good on that track, man, and he was kicking knowledge and kicking science and stuff like that. But Back When gives you that nostalgia of old school Nas. It gives you the nostalgia of 90s East Coast hip hop. It just gives you nostalgia of that type of production that, it sounds like something that, Large Professor or Q-Tip or someone would have done, man. So it just has that dope feel to it. I don't know if No ID did that beat or not. I'm not 100% sure. You can take a look and see. I want to say No ID did a few very dope songs on Life is Good. He might have done this one. I don't know off the top of my head. But Back When for me is one of my favorite songs on the album. I think it edges out Mastermind. It's a beautiful song by Nas, man. I think it has that rock him little make him clap to this. Or that might be You Wouldn't Understand. I'm sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Rock Him's vocals are either on You Wouldn't Understand or on Back When. Just in the comment section, you guys correct me on that when this is released on YouTube. Round number 11, Warrior Song versus The Don. Look, I like The Don, man. The Don is dope, man. But Warrior Song with Alicia Keys, man, the beat, the hook, the message. I think Warrior Song is a better record. I think The Don might be picked for more hip hop, fans, but I think that overall Warrior Song is a better overall record. And so I'll give that round to God's Son. Oh, we're getting close down to the end of part 1 of this episode. As far as the first 14 songs, we have Revolutionary Warfare against Stay. Look, Stay is one of Nas' best songs. Someone talked about Stay today on Twitter, and it really is inspired me to go ahead and do this episode today about God's Son versus Life is Good. Stay is just simply like a love song. It fit the vibe of the album. It fit someone who was going through relationship problems and things of that nature. It was just one of the perfect songs for Life Is Good. It was one of the perfect songs for it. It's just a better record than Revolutionary Warfare. I don't know any other way to say it. We don't even have to keep going on and on about that. Round number 13, Dance versus Cherry Wine. Look, Dance is deeper. Dance obviously is about him having one last dance with his mother who had passed away before God's son, and during that time his life was very hard and very challenging. So the sentiment behind Dance, is deep. It's heartfelt, and so some people will feel that. But I'm only going on the record. Cherry Wine featuring Amy Winehouse is a better song. You know what I'm saying? For me, oh man, the production is dope. The video was even real classy and dope, man, and everything like that. It just had an amazing vibe to it. So, looking back now and thinking about now in 2022, Cherry Wine is just a song I would listen to more than I would listen to Dance. Dance might make me sad because, I lost my mom as well to cancer and when I was a kid, so, I get the sentiment behind it. But now I would listen to Cherry Wine more. So I do have to use the replay value factor. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna pick Cherry Wine. Oh man, 14 Heaven versus Bye Bye. Now, Heaven again is one of those songs that is deep. Didn't really love Nas flow on it that much, but the lyrics were very deep. The beat wasn't even bad. It was a kind of, it wasn't the type of typical beat that Nas would rap over. I do think for the vibe of God's son, it fit the album. It fit very well after Dance. You get into the climax where you get into the conclusion of the album. It's a little more somber at the end with the dance, and then Heaven is a mile away, and stuff like that. So I get that. So as an album cut, it fit real good. Bye Bye also as an album cut fit the vibe of Life Is Good because it was about like his divorce. Life Is Good is kind of his Marvin Gaye, Here My Dear. You know what I'm saying? Because when Marvin Gaye did that, it was about his wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, go look at the backstory to Marvin Gaye's double CD, Hear My Dear, amazing album. One of Marvin Gaye's best albums in his discography on the low that people don't talk about because, they'll talk about his more popular joints. Trouble Man, what's going on, stuff like that. Midnight Love. But anyway, Bye Bye had the Aaron Hall joint sample in it. It was a good conclusion to talk about a breakup, and things like that. I felt like it fit the album perfect. I feel like it's a better record than Heaven. So I would give that to Life Is Good. So right now, what we have is the second half of Life Is Good, just so strong, it edges out God's Son that started out pretty strong when you think about Get Down and Last Real Nigga Alive and Made You Look and even The Cross. But I have Life Is Good winning 8-6. If we're gonna just use the first 14 songs, 8-6, Life Is Good. So I tend to think it was more of a wash, but but when we use the first 14 songs, it's pretty close, 8-6. But now, because like I say, I consider bonus tracks album tracks. If it came with it on the deluxe version, it's part of the album. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why they even do that. It might be some other business and legal reasons why. I have no idea. But bonus tracks that are on official deluxe releases are album tracks. So let's continue. Pardon me 1 second. Let's go to let's see what this is here. The Thugs Mirror Freestyle. Thugs Mirror Freestyle versus Nasty. Now, needless to say, Thugs Mirror Freestyle is good. Nasty is great. Nasty actually could have been track 1 on Life Is Good, and you didn't even need no introduction. Not that no introduction is not a good song, but Nasty could have set the album off. Think about that joint setting the album off. You'd immediately been drawn into to Life Is Good. You know what I'm saying? If Nasty would have been the first track on the album. So I mean, Nasty wins this easy, like just runaway. You know what I'm saying? Now the joint Pussy Kills on God's Son's deluxe. It's a good song. It's dope. It's a dope story, funny story. Again, it's some undying love and type of joint. You know what I'm saying? It was good. I like the song. You put that up against Black Bond. You know what? I'm gonna make that even. I'm gonna have Pussy Kills and Black Bond even. We come down now to 56, 17, track 17 look like the God on God's Son. The God was dope, but you're putting that up against Roses. Now, why Roses not in the original 14 tracks blows my mind. It's just Nas again frustrating you with I don't know who the business person, the executive producer over the album. I'm just not sure. Roses is a top 5 Nas song to me, probably, man. To be honest with you, I mean, Roses is deep. Roses fit the vibe of Life is Good. I mean, you talking about Roses, Stay, Cherry Wine, Bye Bye, all of those joints could have been back to back. It would have been an epic ending to Life is Good. But it's still a bonus track on there, so it's still considered part of the album. Amazing song by Nas, man. So I mean, even those 17 songs, you still have it where it's he's significantly up on Life is Good. Life is Good is a better project than God's Son overall from track 1 to the final deluxe song. Now, the funny part is I'm still not done yet on Life is Good. Where's the Love? Where's the Love is one of my favorite songs on Life is Good. I mean, I think the Cocaine 80s did it, and I want to say that's some Chicago cats. I want to say that is No ID, Common, and some other guys, a little conglomerate, kind of like how Tribe had the Oma, if I'm not mistaken. But nevertheless, man, Where's the Love is some dope storytelling in it. Great beat, great vibe. Nas was in his victory lap to me. He was just flowing and rolling, man. Like I'm like, man, Life is Good had the potential to be, and for me, it's still one of Nas' top 5 albums. You know what I'm saying? So you have that, and then we still not done. Trust. Go back and listen to Roses, Black Bond, Where's the Love, and Trust. Go back and listen to those joints at your leisure. Trust is a banger. Trust is a song that I think anyone can relate to who have expectations of people they love, and a lot of people can let you down. Just like, over the last 24 hours on Twitter, one of my tweets was talking about, in my experience, man, a lot of people you think you can rock with, they really don't rock with you. You might have done all these things for them, but they don't really rock with you like that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you can't do nothing for them, they don't rock with you. Then there's people who you think either got something against you or overlook whatever you do in life. And this goes to everything in life. And they actually got your back. They really do. They really do. It's weird. Like, I'm gonna tell you the honest God truth, even with myself. I remember when I first started the Dome in 2017, I did a little promo run and had hats and shirts and all that. It was just for a brief promo run to promote the website, which I'm thankful that the website is still going strong and people really love it. And I still get a lot of views when I log in, and from all over the world. You know what I mean? Like all different, countries and stuff. People are really tuned in to the Instant the Dome website. But my little promo run, I was doing the hats and t-shirts. I'll say 75% of all the sales were people I never met. I never met them. The other 25% were people I knew, I grew up with, or fraternity brothers, or people from college, and I appreciate all of them. But the other 75%, I never met these people before. And they were ordering all my stuff, wearing it on Facebook, wearing it on different outlets and stuff like that. But that goes to show about the trust thing. People I trusted to hold me down and promote me the way I promote them, they didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And Nas talked about this on trust, man, and from a homeboy perspective, and talking about women You know what I'm saying? Which ones he could trust in that regard? Which trust also fit the vibe of Life is Good, because there is verses and lines on there talking about, relationship type situations. So again, man, you talking about Nas came full circle in 2012, 10 years after Godson. Uh he came full circle again. You know what I'm saying? His album after Distant Relatives, man. Nas did not disappoint, but he didn't disappoint on Godson either. Some people hold Godson as a top 5 Nas album. Some people hold Life is Good as a top 5 Nas album. Some people hold both of them as top 5 Nas albums. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you lose either way, but I think it is good for discussion. I think the overall production on Life is Good is far superior. You know what I mean? I think that really, if you take all the songs on Life is Good and condense it, take some on Smash off, take Reach Out off, and put some drums on Words and Addiction, you got 5 mics. You got, to me, Nas' best album after it was written. To me, if you make those slight changes, you know what I'm saying, and that's no knock on I Am, because again, if I had the original I Am with the Lost Tape songs on it, it's maybe Nas' best album. Yeah, I said that too. Since we are talking about Nas and talking about albums, and since I already showed you, in my opinion, the Life is Good is better than God's Son. You make those changes, Life is Good. I mean, with I Am, excuse me, it's probably Nas' best album. You know what I'm saying? Since we're talking now still about Life is Good and God's Son, I might go so far as to say, we can look at Life is Good versus Stillmatic, track for track. How does that look? What do you guys think? How does that look with? Because we already, okay, we got Godson out the way. Can we get Stillmatic out the way? Can we go song for song and get Stillmatic up out of here? But Life is Good. Some might think this is blasphemy right here. Some might understand what I'm saying. I think I'm gonna pose this on Twitter at some point, but of course we definitely want to dig more into this particular episode number 4 with Godson versus Life is Good. But I think after that there won't be an episode on Life is Good versus Stillmatic. I'm not gonna milk it like that, but we definitely could talk about it on the timeline. Yeah, can we get Stillmatic up out of here? Because I know with Life is Good, we can get Untitled out of here. We can get Street Disciple out of here. Only way Street Disciple can compete with Life is Good is if you condense that shit down on one CD. So Stillmatic is out of here. Hip Hop is Dead. Can we get Hip Hop is Dead out of here? Well, Life is Good. I think we can get Hip Hop is Dead out of here. Well, Life is Good. Can we get King's Disease up 1 out of here with Life is Good? Yes, we can. We can get King's Disease up out of here. Life is Good. Can we get King's Disease 2 out of here with Life is Good? Talk to me. I love King Disease 2. I love Nas is Good on there. I love that what's that? The Store Run. I love 40 Side, man. I love not Life is Good. I love Life is Good. I love King Disease 2. But can we get King Disease 2 out of here with Life is Good? Yeah, we can get King Disease out of here with Life is Good. Now, King Disease 2 versus Godson might be a little closer. But I think Life is Good gets everything else up out of here. When I look at the highs on Life is Good is very high. The highs on God's Son is Major Look. Major Look is the best song on the album. Then you could consider what? Get Down, maybe second. Last Real Nigga Alive, maybe third. After that, you got some couple of good songs. Book of Rhymes is good. I Can is good. The Cross is good. They ain't great. Zone Out is terrible. Hey Nas is corny. Come on, man. Let's be serious. Uh, what's the bad songs on Life is Good? I think some on Smash, and that's the worst song on there. Reach Out is just been sampled a whole lot. It's a dope song though. Outside of that, what's a bad song on there? And the highs are super super duper high, like I've said 3 times already. Um, so yeah, man. Ranking Nas albums, looking at this comparison right here, most will say It Was Written is number 2 after Illmatic. When you get to number 3, it gets tough. Is it still Matic or is it Life is Good? How high does King Disease 2 rank in Nas discography? Again, would you rank King Disease 2 over Godson? How do you look at that period when people didn't really love a few Nas albums? When we talk about that period when he did Hip Hop Is Dead, Untitled, Streets Disciple, we must admit that those albums, they leave a lot to be desired. There are some highs on those albums because it's Nas. You know what I'm saying? But there are some lows. And some of the production is not great. Overall, Nas' production is dope in his career. That we're not going there. But those 3 albums did not help the argument. They didn't help the argument. So again, Nas has this dynamic career where you can debate his albums against each other, and depending on who you talk to, it'll rank different. I think I'll rank his albums at some point, maybe this week on Twitter as we promote and push episode 4. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this and start the debate. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I had 8-6. Life is Good when it came to the first 14 songs, and I had overall, it's a wash if I add in those deluxe version songs, like I said. And again, if you slept on those deluxe version songs, Roses, You Wouldn't Understand, Black Bond, and Trust, please go back and check those out. If you had Godson and somehow you didn't get the deluxe version with Thug Mirror Freestyle, Pussy Kill, and the G.O.D., check those out too. The G.O.D. actually reminds me also of The General. Nas had a song called The General, something like that, produced by Swiss Beats as well, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Thank you again for checking us out, man. I'm not gonna hold you. I felt like we touched on a few things that can start a discussion. One love, my people. Peace from North Carolina. Peace from the Dome. Check us out at enterthedome.com and also Tony the Dome on Twitter. Peace and blessings.